October 18th, 10 AM. District Court, quarter number 4. Oh, we've downgraded. Hello guys, welcome back to the Let's Play of Ace Attorney. We are in episode 3, Turnabout Samurai. This is the first trial of the case. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Will Powers. Prosecution is ready, Your Honor. Defense is ready, Your Honor. Very well. Mr. Edgeworth, your opening statement, please. So, hang on, before we get into what he's saying, we'll read that in a second. We haven't actually got that much evidence on our side during this, trial right now. I mean, this is nothing. This is just help for investigating. This isn't really going to help me at all. We have an autopsy report, a map of the studios, and a picture of somebody in Will Powers' costume heading to the scene of the crime. This is Will Powers, our victim. Well, not victim, our defendants. This is the victim. And, yeah, basically the entire case against him is just they have video evidence of him going to the trial, and as I just showed you, it's a photo of someone in his costume. This should be really easy to debunk, and also this is photo 2, not photo 1, so there's another photo, which also could have potentially been the culprit, we don't know yet. But yeah, this shouldn't be hard to disprove, but also, like, this is the first trial. Like, there's got to be, I just don't know anything, really, that can, like, point to who the real culprit is, other than, obviously, that other photo. So, we'll see what happens. This prosecution will show up at the court for at 2:30 PM on October 15th for defendant, Mr. Will Powers, killed fellow actor Jack Hammer in Studio 1 of Global Studios. It's impossible for anyone else to have committed this heinous crime. I still haven't got a voice for Edgeworth yet. Be patient, it's coming. The evidence presented during the trial will all point to this fact. I see. Very well, I would like to move on to some testimony. Mr. Edgeworth, the prosecution may call its first witness. Very well, I call a most familiar face, Detective Gumshoe, to the stand. Because this guy has been so reliable. Detective, if you would briefly describe this case to the court. Yes, sir. I'll explain with the guide map here. To understand this case, it's important to grasp the layout of studios, see? This here is the employee area. The actors did a run-through of their action scenes during the morning here. This is the main gate of the studios. The security lady that works in the studios was here at 1 PM on that day. Could you put some dots on the map? That would be kind of useful. Past the security station there is a gate, see? Past that are the studios. And here it is, Studio 1. This is the scene of the murder where the body was found. Now, on the day of the murder, October 15th, there were only 3 people here. The victim, Jack Hammer, the defendant, Will Powers, and a young woman, the production assistant. What about the security lady? She was there. Oh, do you mean in Studio 1? Okay. All the production staff were in the employee area until noon. Oh, there we go, there are the dots. Then after lunch, the victim Jack Hammer went to Studio 1. Right after that, at 1 PM, the security lady got to the guard station. Now jump ahead to later that day, 5 PM. The production staff came to Studio 1 to perform a rehearsal. Shouldn't you explain where Will Powers supposedly walked through there first? Needless to say, the rehearsal was cancelled. The time of death was 2:30 PM. The samurai spear found lodged in the victim's chest was the murder weapon. That's the case in brief. Anyone like to hear that again? Should I listen to the whole thing again? No, I'm good. I think I can probably remember that. So, the murder weapon was a spear? How medieval! The spear was found stuck on the victim of the victim. Yep, okay. Your Honor, this case is quite simple if you ask one question. And that question is, what did the security lady at the guard station see? Understood? Let's call the security officer to the stand. Will the witness declare her name?
Why, aren't you a handsome fellow? I'm afraid I'm a bit flustered.
Your name, please.
Oh, dearie, no need for you to be embarrassed. Just call me Grandma.
Your name, please. Seems Edgeworth has a bit of trouble getting this witness to say their names.
Wendy Oldbag, dearie. So just call me Grandma. It's practically my name. Even when I was young, I was an old bag, and already that was just age. Still, the other children made fun of me just because my name on. You believe it? There was a boy, the captain's just come to junior high, and then he called me an old bag, but I just cried and cried because...
Objection! I object to the witness's talkativeness. Objection sustained. The witness will refrain from rambling on the stand. Thank God.
Oh, she's getting to the good part, dearie.
Perhaps we can get to the testimony, please. Now, a witness was stationed at the main gate on the day of the murder, correct?
Yes, see, I was.
And to get to the scene of the murder, someone would have to pass by you?
You know your stuff, dearie.
You may begin your testimony. She sure is one hell of an old bag. Alright, so let's see what we got.
On the day of the murder, I arrived at the guard station at 1 p.m. Poor old Hammer and the rest have been doing a run-through there since the morning. Well, I had some errands to run that morning. Anyway, it was 1 p.m. when I got to the guard station. It was at the main gate from there until 5 p.m. Now, the murder happened at 2:30 p.m., right? Interesting to me, because a certain man walked right by me at 2 p.m. It was Powers, that man right there, and he was heading towards the guard's studio.
So I guess I have to press this and then, like, show the photo. You saw the defendant, then? Very well. Let's begin the cross-examination. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor? Oh, just yes, Your Honor. I thought I was answering a question. So, yeah, I think I'm just going to have to press on the fact she identifies the person walking past as Powers. Because that's the only thing I really have. I'll press for now, because I tried presenting evidence that I was sure was right in the past, and it just lost me points. So let's just see what she has to say. So you saw Mr. Powers.
That's what I said. Got wax in your ears, Sonny? Nick, this is your chance.
Yeah, time to pull out the secret weapon.
I'll say it again. It was him.
Okay, so I do actually have to... Yeah, it's definitely leaning towards this is the thing I have to do. It even says Powers, photo. Let me get this straight, old bag. Miss Old Bag. You've been saying since yesterday that you saw Mr. Powers, correct? But you're talking about the man in this photo, aren't you? Just a moment, Mr. Wright. Let me see that photo. I love how he's even looking away from the camera, even in costume. What is this exactly? None other than the Steel Samurai, defender of Neo Tokyo. Miss Old Bag. Is this the Mr. Powers that you saw?
Of course. Didn't your mama teach you any sense, Sonny? Anyone can plainly see that's Powers, right?
No, they can't. At least he admits it. Well, I mean, I wonder. True, Mr. Powers does play the role of the Steel Samurai. But that doesn't mean Mr. Powers is the Steel Samurai.
I know that. I wasn't born yesterday.
No one in this court is accusing you of that, Miss, Witness. He's having trouble calling her old bag, apparently. However, you do not have proof that the person in this photo is Mr. Will Powers, do you?
Nosy old man. Of course I have proof. What?
Huh? Even Edgey-Boy is surprised? The prosecution would like to ask the witness, please make known all the information in your possession ahead of time, so that I may tell you which evidence to show and which ones not to show.
How was I to know everyone would be so nosy? You should be ashamed, all of you. Anyway, I showed that photo to the young detective. He told me, this isn't any good as evidence, pal. He didn't even give it a second look.
Wow, old Wimberg has left even Edgeworth's pieces. She's good. Let's hear about your proof, then. Okay, so what is the evidence?
I never say anything I don't mean, mind you. That morning, during the run-through of the action scene, I saw Powers trip and fall.
Wait, you were there? I thought we established only 3 people were there. Him, her, and the assistant, Penny.
He broke one of the props. There was a big mess. Apparently, he sprained his ankle pretty bad. Now look at that picture. You can see he's dragging his legs, see? Clear as day. That's how I knew it was Powers. Happy?
So he had sprained his ankle? Very well, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. She's got to be hiding something. I'll press her until she squeals. Well, the first thing that jumps out is the fact she's now claiming she was there, which is a bit of a faux pas, I think. So yeah, let's press this. Trip and fall. No, I want to press the part where she saw it.
Yes, and to think he's supposed to be the Steel Samurai. What a laugh. So Power sprained his ankle. I helped make it better for him, of course.
You helped make it better?
I kissed her where it hurt.
Let's just skip over that part, shall we? Where was the assistant then?
Oh, her? She was cleaning the backdrops, I think. She didn't know about Mr. Power's ankle.
You may continue your testimony. He broke one of the props. It was a big mess. Okay, I guess I'll press on that as well. He broke a prop?
Sure did. His own samurai spear.
His samurai spear? The murder weapon?
Luckily, I was there with my duct tape to fix it.
This strikes me as a significant detail. I'd better write this down in the court record. Okay. That's important for something.
Apparently, he sprained his ankle pretty bad.
Oh, I think we've heard enough. Hey, I wasn't done. Haven't we, Your Honor? Well, there is one thing that bothers me.
Which is?
Where is this Steel Samurai costume now? That's actually a very good question. Actually, well, we couldn't find it. We're looking, though. Anyway, that's not important. I'm pretty sure that's important. The witness did see the Steel Samurai, yes. And it is clear that the person in the Steel Samurai suit was Mr. Will Powers. I suppose that's right. Are you sure you're sure, Your Honor? What? I don't have anything I can, like, strongly object with, do I? Like, I object to saying with certainty this is Will Powers. But I don't really have evidence for that. Normally I wouldn't need it because it's innocent until proven guilty, but here it's the other way around apparently, and just her saying that's him, that counts. I guess we could argue, like, I've been thinking for a long while now, she is the only supposed witness, so this could effectively be a game of he says, she says. She could be in that costume, and she knows that he has an ankle injury, so she would replicate that going through the photo, and we can just say that she's the culprit, but I don't have any proof of that. I'll object because I feel like it seems silly to just wait and see what happens. Hold it right there. We keep talking possibilities, but we have to agree that this photo shows Steel Samurai. Nowhere in this photo can we see Mr. Will Powers. The defense has a point. I also wonder if someone else not caught on camera could have killed Mr. Hammer. We have to consider that possibility also. Then allow me to remove that doubt from your mind, Your Honor. Will the witness continue her testimony, please?
No need to ask twice.
Okay, I think that was the right call.
The time of poor Hammer's death was 2:30 PM, true?
True.
The only person I saw go to the studio before then was Mr. Will Powers. Well, except for photo 2. No one else went there. If they had, I would have seen them.
So, if no one else went to the studio, then it would have to be this Steel Samurai who did it. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. Okay, so I'm just gonna probably jump to the no one else was there bit, and we'll press them first, just to be doubly sure, but I imagine I just have to submit the photo and point out it's number 2. What about before you got to the guard station?
You mean before 1 PM?
Why, everyone was in the employee area before then. I don't know why I keep slipping into a slight Texan accent with this. I'm just trying to do an old voice and it goes wrong. And I locked the main gates and no one could get in. Not to mention, if they had, I would have seen them. I guess I'm just going to try and present this, and if the timing's wrong, then so be it. This game is confusing me. Hold on. Look at this photograph one more time. This photo was taken by the camera at the Gateford Studios, correct?
Yes, sirree, sonny.
So whenever anyone passes by here, it automatically takes a picture?
And here I thought you didn't know you heard from your head from a hole in the ground.
Right, anyway. It's also true that the computer in the guard station records all security cam data.
Oh, you know, if you wanted to work at the studio, we might have an opening.
That very computer printed out this photo. Note that on the back of the photo are printed the words October 15th, 2 PM, photo number 2. Photo number 1 is just going to be Will Powers himself, isn't it?
Even I know that means it was taken at 2 p.m. on October the 15th. Really, Sonny?
Actually, I knew that too. The issue here is the bit at the end of the photo where it says photo number 2.
Photo 2?
The computer only held data for one photo on that day. Don't you think that's odd? Shouldn't this photo be photo 1 if it really was the only photo?
Order! Order! Please don't record what you mean by this, Mr. Wright.
Actually, that's what I wanted to ask the witness. This evidence shows that there are not 1, but 2 people went to the studio that day. Yes, the victim and the culprits. I know I'm using this I was mentioning this point earlier, but now I've thought about it, I've realised this is kind of a stupid segue. Yet there is only data for 1 of the photos. Who could have erased the data for the other one? Only someone with access. The security lady herself.
Yeah. You watch your mouth, whippersnapper. The only person I saw that day was Mr. Will Powers.
But the camera on the gate fired twice. That means 2 people went by.
Well, yes, that's what it would seem to mean.
Can the witness explain this to the court?
I don't understand these newfangled computer things. Edgey-Boy, help.
Huh? Believe me, I want to, but I don't know what this means either. You've given him no evidence about the camera at all during this.
Some help you are, you're a whippersnapper too.
Whippersnapper? Something the matter, Miss Oldberg?
Ah, that's right. I just remembered something.
Let me guess. Someone else passed by the gate? Someone other than the Steel Samurai?
Well, yes, I suppose you could put it that way.
I see. Your testimony, please. Okay.
Every day after I finish my guard duties, I have one important job to do. I go through the photos recorded on the security computer and check them. I throw out any photos that aren't suspicious looking, you see. Come to think of it now, I remember throwing out 1 photo that day.
Wow. Miss Oldberg, this is the first I've heard of this.
Well, of course, Sonny, I only just remembered it.
Right. Anyway, Mr. Wright, please begin the cross-examination.
Well, I'd say this was a turn of the unexpected, but I kind of expected this.
So, what exactly is there for me to cross-examine? We just need to know who this other photo is. Throw out any photos not suspicious looking. Gonna think of it now, I'm remembering 1 photo that day. Okay, explain to us what it is. Well, who in the heck was in that photo you erased?
Fanboy.
Fanboy?
Steel Samurai fanboys. Real freaks, if you ask me. They're getting information about the rehearsals from gosh knows where. They're always hanging about. 1 was there that day.
Wait a second. Didn't you just say no one else could get in? I locked the main gate so no one could get in. Those were your words.
Well, if you must know, there's a drain that goes into the employee area.
Oh, where this costume was, for all convenience sake.
That grate's been loose for a while. It leads outside, and well, that's where they come in.
They come in through the drain?
I told you they were freaks. Oh, and... They're kids. Children. Whippersnappers.
Kids? So, on the photo that you erased...
He was a boy, probably 2nd or 3rd grade.
What? Order! Order! Let me get this straight. You saw 2 people pass by the gate on their way to the studios that day. One was the Steel Samurai dragging his leg. The other was a boy who looked to be in about 2nd or 3rd grade.
Oh, yes, well, we see his type there every day. Can't stop him, can't catch him.
The boy in 2nd or 3rd grade, I assume it would be hard, if not impossible, for a young boy to wield a samurai spear. Ooh, but hang on a second, the spear was broken. Theoretically, you could take the blade off, and, I mean, the blade part of it surely must be light enough to hold, even for a young child. Am I honestly going with the fact the child killed him? and then taped for spear. I mean, it's possible. We can't eliminate the possibility, and he's all about possibilities. Impossible, I think. It's quite heavy. Right.
As I said, I didn't pay him much mind. That's why I erased the data.
Nick, what's going on? I mean, the boy was there. That makes him a suspect. Yeah, and they're already trying to unsuspect him. This court will take a 5-minute recess. I want our defense and the prosecution to consider this new information. And no forgetting vital information this time. Who are you calling out with that? I never forget the vital information. Mr. Powers? Wait, yes? Tell me straight, were you really in your dressing room? You didn't go to the studio? I didn't go to the studio! I was sleeping, honest! So, who was the Steel Samurai in that security photo? How should I know? Steel Samurai costume was off in the corner of the dressing room. Anyone could have walked in and taken it, really. What? You should take better care of that stuff. I couldn't imagine anyone would want to steal a Steel Samurai costume. That's a mouthful. So, where does this leave me? It doesn't look good. You're the only likely suspect right now. Nick? What are you going to do? First, we play for more time. Start targeting someone else that could conceivably have done this. Right. And it will take them so long to shoot us down that we can get another day. Right. But if we pick the wrong person, we might lose on the spot. You don't sound very optimistic. I'm not optimistic at all, actually. Hey, Nick, it's time. Okay, let's go. What does that mean? Please don't say it like that. So I guess we're going with what I said about blaming her. Court will now reconvene for the trial of Mr. Will Powers. Mr. Edgeworth, will you present the prosecution's force on this matter? The prosecution's force is simple. Nothing has changed. The other person who went to the studios was a boy of roughly 10 years of age. The photo we do have may not be hard evidence, but there is still no one else that could have committed this crime. I call for a verdict of guilty for the defendant, Mr. Will Powers. Very well. Mr. Wright, your thoughts? The defense disagrees with the prosecution's claim. There is another person who could have committed this crime. Order. Interesting. Let us hear who you have in mind. However, be aware that this court does not look kindly on accusing the innocent. If you accuse someone who is obviously innocent, you will be penalized. Great. As if the stakes weren't high enough. So, who is this person other than Mr. Powers that could have committed the murder? So in my mind, I'm not ruling this guy out. Just because it's weird the court record, like, updated the fact the spear is broken. Like, that does seem very peculiar to me. It suggests that maybe it could be used in unconventional ways. But for the purposes of this moment here, I think I do have to go with her, because she knows he was injured, the assistant doesn't, so she can replicate the limp on video, but she can't. And it is just basically her word against his right now, so I'm gonna have to go with Oldbag. It was a security lady, Wendy Oldbag. Who? The Steel Samurai is dragging his leg in this picture. That means whoever was in the suit knew about that morning's injury. Maybe because they had been watching the action scene run through. There was only one person other than Powers and Hammer who knew about the injury. The security lady, Oldbag.
What? Whippersnapper!
I mean, we've framed this whole thing like we're accusing someone innocent by time. We don't even know if she's innocent, I'm just saying. Order! Order! Is this true, Oldbag?
Oldbag? That's Miss Oldbag to you!
Miss Oldbag was standing guard alone at the main gate. She was by herself. In other words, she has no alibi. She could have briefly left her post to steal the Steel Samurai costume. Then slipped into Studio 1 the scene of the murder. Why would she go through the trouble of wearing the Steel Samurai costume? Simple, Your Honor. She knew the camera at the gate would take her picture. If she was in his costume, she could point the finger at Mr. Powers. I see. Excellent deductive reasoning, Mr. Wright. Oh yeah, right there. Sherlock Holmes 2, baby. Sherlock Holmes the second. That's odd. Isn't this the part where Edgeworth pounces? Doesn't he usually jump up with an objection and some new damning evidence? Well, Mr. Edgeworth, does the prosecution have an opinion on this matter? The prosecution has no meaningful objections at this time.
What? What's that supposed to mean? Oh, so you all think I did it, is that it? Edgey-Boy, don't just sit there, do something.
What's my move? Maybe now's my chance to take this the whole way. I mean, I feel like we've already achieved our aim. I don't know if I'm going to gain anything from pressing further, but maybe she'll let something slip, sure. The very same reasoning that makes Mr. Powers a suspect in this case can be used to cast doubts on Miss Oldbag's actions on that day.
But why would I do something so horrible to poor Hammer?
Well, we haven't given a reason why Powers would either, so talking motives now is irrelevant. You forget that Mr. Powers lacks a clear motive too. I'm in the same mindset as Phoenix Wright. Indeed. That did it. Now Windbag is one of the suspects. No hard feelings, I hope.
Wait just a minute. What about the other person who went to the studio? The boy, the one whose photo I erased.
He's only a grade schooler though, as you said. Second or third grade, was it?
That doesn't matter. When I was that age, I could pin my old man in 10 seconds tops.
Your force, Mr. Wright? That boy is not the killer. I don't believe that yet.
What? How can you be so sure? Or is it to be nice to the kids and mean to your elders, day, whipstrapper?
I have proof.
Proof?
Indeed? But let's see this proof, Mr. Wright. You have proof that shows the boy could not have committed this murder? No. No, I don't. I know it's this. It's the murder weapon. They're gonna say, oh, it's too heavy for a child to lift. But I fundamentally disagree with that because they literally make the point. The spear's broken. The blade is disconnected from the staff held on only with duct tape. I mean, duct tape's not the easiest thing to peel off, but you could peel that off, use the blade on its own, and it would be light enough that anyone could do it. And then just re-tape the staff back on afterwards. But I think this is what it wants me to show, so go for it. Your Honor, the murder weapon was a samurai spear. That very spear is shown here in this photo. How could the boy have taken the spear? It's impossible. Oh, okay, that actually makes more sense. The weapon came with the person here. So the boy would have had to have gone through first, then waited for whoever is in this costume to bring the spear, and then whoever was in that costume... Wait a minute, where did that person go? Like, if we're saying this is Will, there should be a photo of him going back. The two photos that have been logged are just the boy and him, the suspect, entering the scene. We haven't even got a photo of Will entering the scene. Or anyone leaving. There's some dots here that need to be connected, and I don't know how to connect them yet. I see. Well, would the witness care to comment on this? The windbag. Speechless. This has got to be it first. Very well. This court will suspend proceedings on the current trial for today. Mr. Edgeworth, please find out more about your witness, Miss Wendy. What was her name? Something old bag, Your Honor. No one cares. Well then, the prosecution will look further into this old bag before we continue. That is all. This court is adjourned.
Well, wait a second. I'm not going to just sit here while you run off barking up the wrong tree. Me. I'm talking.
Oh great, stop the presses. The windbag wants to talk. Maya, be nice. Miss Oldbag, what is this all about? Have you omitted something from your testimony?
Actually, if you must know, there's something I was told not to talk about.
Not to talk about? By whom? You mean it wasn't Edgeworth who told her not to talk? Well, testify.
Testify, sister.
Global Studios wanted me to keep quiet about something. There were some other people at the studios on the day of the Really? Okay, that's not suspicious at all.
They said they had nothing to do with it, see? So they told me to just pretend they hadn't been at studios that day. But if you're going to go accusing me, I'm not letting them get away scot-free.
Okay. That's actually very relevant testimony. Thank you for sharing. Miss Oldbag, this is crucial information. Why did you keep... She just said why. They told her not to. Corrupt companies, what do you expect?
Ain't you been listening? They told me to shut my trap, and I always do what I'm told.
Except for giving your name in court. No, this isn't a bad dream, Your Honor. Witness the power of the old bag. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination? Why? I think that's all the information we need. They told her no. I guess I can, like, press this to find out who those other people were. Who were these people?
Well, the director and the producer, for starters.
The director? We should have known something was fishy. How could they have done a run-through of their action scene without a director?
Of course. Yes, well, I was surprised no one asked about it.
So, where were these people?
The director was in the employee area all morning for the run-through. He joined the producer around lunchtime and they had a meeting after that.
Where?
Oh, in the Studio 2 trailer.
Oh, near the scene of the murder. That's convenient. Studio 2. There was a Studio 2.
For God's sake, Phoenix, you have a map. You have a map right there. It said Studio 2.
God damn it, man.
Well, if you look at the guide map, I just did. Here it is. You go through the gate and all the way to the left. The path where the monkey's head was fallen was over.
Oh, that was Phoenix. Okay. Well, Mr. Wright, would you like to continue the cross-examination? I think I've already answered my questions, but... If it's giving me the option, sure, we'll see what it has to say. They said they had nothing to do with it. Oh, I guess I'll press that. Miss Oldbag, this is a trial for murder.
I know, that's silly. Still, they were pretty convincing about having nothing to do with it. And they gave me a little bonus on the side.
Ah, so you got your bonus and you still talked. I think I've asked. Alright, it's telling me not to ask, so fine. Your Honor, we have learned there were others at Global Studios on the day in question. The director and the producer and some bigwigs were all present. Yet, as we stand here, they have not been questioned. I hold that it is impossible to clear a verdict on the defendant, Mr. Powers. The court acknowledges the defense's points. The prosecution will gather more information about the witnesses, Miss Oldbag, and more information about the other people who have just been told off. Oh, just been told of, not told off. I understand, Your Honor. This ends today's proceedings for the trial of Mr. Will Powers. That is all. This court is adjourned. I was thinking, like, we don't have anywhere near enough information to make anything here. It makes sense there's more people. Thank you so much, Mr. Wright. I was right to ask you to defend me.
Aw, really? It's nothing.
Or should I? We'll be going down to the studios to do some more investigating. We have to find out more about the director and the producer. They'll be turning up in the next trial as witnesses. Wait a minute, hang on, did he not know? Surely you would have known if the director or producer were there. Why did you not tell us? I mean, even if they told you not to mention them, why would you listen to them? You're being trialed for murder. You should have told us. So now's my chance to get material for the cross-examination. So, Nick, have we figured out just who it was in that Steel Samurai costume? Could it really have been old Windbag? What do you think, Mr. Powers? I don't think it was her, really. Neither do I, Nick. Yeah, I know. Look, I was just buying time back there. Someone had to be the bad guy for a bit to take the pressure off Mr. Powers. Poor old Windbag. I feel kind of sorry for her. Well, she wasn't winning any points in there with or without my accusation. I mean, yeah, she withheld a lot of information in a murder case. That's pretty deplorable. Okay, let's get down to the studios. Right, we'll be back to visit you soon. No, thanks. Thanks, guys. Okay, that's, that was an interesting first trial for this case, I guess. It was less frustrating than, the case with Red White, because I didn't have a hard time figuring out when a clue was supposed to be used. That bit, like, all made sense. In terms of, like, where this trial is going in the future, I'm not ruling out the kid. No matter how much the game wants me to, I'm not going to rule out the idea that the staff broken means the kid might have done it. I am also very curious about the photo thing, because it's like, it doesn't add up that the only photos show people entering and not leaving like, if the costume can't be found, that would narrow the search radius. If there's no photo of the person in the costume leaving, that would narrow the search radius to the costume must be in Studio 1 or Studio 2. And it is just a very glaring issue of all this. There's no photos of people leaving an area. That's quite a big deal. Oh well, yeah. I'm liking this trial more than the last one, at least so far. So anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time, guys. Bye-bye.